Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Art, channeling messages from Spirit, Infinite Gratitude. Today I'm going to channel a message for the collective using the Art, Tarot of the Divine. I think it's cool how tarot has the word art in it. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, we're going to use the Tarot of the Divine and see what Spirit has to say for the collective. Any and all messages for the collective, Spirit. I'm excited about this reading because, I don't know, I just feel like there's good news, or I just feel like an excitable energy. With the Star card, I feel like Spirit is doing something in the 5D right now for the collective. There's this excitable energy. There's this anticipation of good news. I feel like you're looking to Spirit for guidance, for information. Even this reading could be what it is that you're looking for. And I see something coming in. The Emperor in upright position. I feel like there's this very mature masculine energy present in the reading. Capable, wise. Spirit is bringing something to my attention. Putting your differences aside is what's coming up here. I feel like the message is, in order to obtain something, you have to put your differences aside. If you are like looking for something, or you want something to come into the 3D, you're trying to manifest something, Spirit is asking you to put your differences aside. Take that how it resonates. The Empress and the Emperor in upright position, a true pair here, and they're side by side. So I feel like this is a love reading. This could be about a romantic union here, or there is a union that is coming into the 3D, or you might be calling in your divine counterpart. I feel like you're calling in your divine counterpart here. Spirit says your divine counterpart is here for you. You have a divine counterpart. In order for you to call that person in and to either ascend the union, if you're already in union, you want to ascend or grow, and or you're calling in this union, you're not in union yet, or you haven't been in union with this person, or you've yet to meet this person. You might already know who this person is, or you have yet to meet this person. But what I'm picking up on is that you most likely already know this person. What I'm picking up on is that most likely you've met this person before, you guys gone on a few dates, or you guys have been in a union, a committed union for quite some time now. You could be married, engaged, in a serious committed relationship, and or you just know who this person is, or you just know like who your person is, or who your divine counterpart is. Spirit might have revealed to you who your divine counterpart is already, giving you signs, visions, or whatever, confirmation that someone is your divine counterpart. Or Spirit is giving you that clarity, is bringing you that clarity and now of who your divine counterpart is. If you don't know who that person is, whatever it is that you don't have, whether it's awareness, whether you know who this person is, whether this person is actively in union with you now or not, if you're trying to ascend the relationship, trying to grow the relationship, all of that is coming in. If you're trying to restore some sort of union, all of this is coming in. What I'm getting here is Spirit is asking you to put your differences aside for you to obtain this next level in your relationship, for you to obtain this partner, for you to bring this union into the 3D, for you to call in this person, for you to become closer with this person. Spirit says the key to getting what you want in this situation is putting your differences aside. I see a true pair here, and because the Empress and the Emperor are present, standing side by side in the upright position, I feel like this is a very, very strong union, or union has been ordained. This is definitely a divinely led union with these two being so powerful. It's the Empress and the Emperor. It's like these two have so much responsibility to be the emperor and the empress. It's like their union is divinely guided and ordained. Spirit with this, okay, this is really clear. With the star card coming out first, and then the emperor, and then the empress, it's giving like this union is very high vibrational. It's destined for a higher purpose. It's ordained by spirit. Spirit ordained this union because this is a very powerful masculine energy, and this is a very powerful feminine energy. They both have instructions, obligations, and duties to the divine, and their union has a purpose. Their union serves a purpose. With these two people being who they are coming together, there's a very high purpose to this marriage, this union, this relationship. Here to stay is what I'm getting. Here to stay. This isn't karmic. I don't feel like this is a karmic union that serves a temporary purpose and then is dissolved. I feel like this is more committal. This is more serious. This is something that is more permanent. This is something that needs to be handled carefully. This union needs to be handled carefully and responsibly because of the position that these two are in. And it's here to stay. Like these two would not come together just to be karmic with each other, separate, get back together, separate, get back together, or anything like superficial or vain. This is more serious. Like spirit would not bring these two together if it wasn't for a higher purpose, if it wasn't going to have a serious impact that is permanent. The impact that these two have on the world around them just by being together or being in union, just by crossing paths with each other or being in union, being brought together has impacted the world around these two greatly and permanently. These two being together has influenced, changed the scenery of the world at large or their world, their community. Um, these two being together has a serious impact on the world, on the community. So Spirit brought these two together for a higher purpose that has a permanent, profound impact. So it needs to be handled carefully because there's so much that these two are capable of as individuals, but together there's just no telling what spirit will require of them and the effect that's going to have on all of their family, friends, community. It's serious. The pressure that these two bring, especially in union, especially together, it's like the people around them, the scenery around them, the world around them is affected, is changed with these two being in union. Yeah, it's nothing to take lightly. This type of union is very important. It's giving some sort of monarchy, it's giving royalty, it's giving some sort of leadership position. These two are in like leadership roles. These people have responsibilities to their community. So spirit ordaining this union is I feel like it's news not only to these two but for the community that they are involved with. I feel like the world that they're in changes and is greatly affected by the choices and the decisions that they make. So these two coming into union together has a profound impact on like everybody. Everybody is invested in what this union brings or what comes of this union. Everyone as in the world around these two, the community, the greater community attached to these two, connected to these two. It's like if these two were to have some sort of formal engagement or announcement of like higher commitment, or these two either, bring a child into the world or start a family, it's like news will travel fast, is what I'm hearing. If these two were to like make any sort of moves or like do anything, news would travel quickly because of the impact that they have on their community. There would be multiple faces just involved in this relationship and what it's doing and what these people are doing or what these two are doing. I feel like there is a greater community connected to this union that is inspired by these two, look up to this relationship. These two might be like goals to somebody or just like an inspiration to somebody. So it's important that spirit divinely guide and lead this union on divine timing because of the responsibility and because of the community involved with this couple here. And obviously it's giving honestly, um it's really giving Meghan and Harry is really what I'm getting off of this. Like this is giving like one of those unions that get a lot of attention, that are very influential. There's a lot of responsibility. There might be some sort of public presence that the two of you guys have. So collective, if you're not already in this union, I feel like you are meant to be in a union like this or similar to this. If you haven't already called this person in, if you don't know who this person is, all of that is coming to you. All of that information, Spirit is allowing you to know more about what's next for you when it comes to this love connection. Spirit is definitely leading and guiding you through it because of how important this union is. It's not just going to happen overnight. I feel like if you've been like single and you're calling in your divine counterpart and it's taking longer than you'd like, it's only because of how influential and how much of an impact you and this person are going to have together. Spirit is not going to just bring you into union with this person prematurely. There's a higher purpose, there's a lot at stake, or there's just a lot of responsibility here. So just trust in the divine timing when it comes to this union. I don't know if you are aware of just how influential and how much of an impact you and your divine counterpart are going to have on the world around you at large. So you really want to trust the divine when it comes to the timing. Anything else, Spirit? This is definitely a love reading. And it's almost like we have to get the business situated first before we can tap into like other themes here. Like Spirit really wants you to know how important this union is and how much of an impact this union has before you make any decisions that are impulsive because of how patient you've had to be. You don't want to lose your patience when it comes to this connection, this union here. And like I said, you may or may not know who this person is, but because it's the Emperor and the Empress, I have a feeling that you know who this person is. You've been introduced to this person. You've interacted with this person went on dates with this person, and or you've already like gotten married. You're already in a committed relationship. You want to ascend, you want to grow, you want to take things to the next level, or you want to do make some sort of profound choice or decision that's going to have a significant impact on your community, and you're looking for guidance from the divine. And the divine mention putting your differences aside, and also we want to emphasize patience and trusting God's timing here. So yeah, putting your differences aside. I want to dive deeper into that energy. I feel like this isn't hard for you to do. I feel like you've already done this. I feel like, okay, this is what I'm getting here. There might have, thank you, Spirit, there might have been some sort of clash between you and your divine counterpart. You guys might have had some differences, a lack of understanding between the two of you because you just have different backgrounds. You just have differences. You could be a man and a woman, or there's just something different about you and your partner. There's something that is not easy to understand between the two of you, or it requires communication. It requires being vulnerable. It requires being transparent and definitely communicating. And there could have been a clashing, or there could have been a blockage within this union here due to differences between the two of you. But what I'm seeing here, and the reason why I'm channeling this, is because I look at the star card, the Empress and the Emperor. They're all they are all wearing red. And I just noticed that, and I heard putting your differences aside, and then I'm seeing the commonality between these three figures here. This is the star card to me represents spirit and like the presence of spirit, and then obviously the Emperor and the Empress are divine masculine and feminine energy, and they're both everybody in this scenario here. All the figures here are all wearing red. So that gives me the idea that there's some sort of common ground that you have found between you and your divine masculine and or feminine, or your divine counterpart here. There's something that you guys have in common. There's something that you guys can agree on. There's something that you guys see the same way. There's something you guys are like-minded about that helps you move past some sort of difference between the two of you that had you guys clashing. So you found common ground, and you're able to move past whatever these differences are. And I feel like these differences are minuscule and minor compared to what your common goals are. Your common goal is so much more important than these minuscule minor differences. And you're just at peace and accepting of your person the way that they are with the Empress. And I feel like I'm talking, I feel like honestly, I feel like I'm doing couples counseling. I'm sitting here and it's like I have the Emperor and the Empress just like talking to me, telling me about their union, telling me about like how they met and everything. It's like, yeah, God brought us together, spirit, like, had him like come cross paths with me. Like the Empress is talking right now, and she's just like, yeah, everything's okay. This literally, she's just like, everything's cool. Like, we are happy. We've never been happier. Like, I am in love with him, and vice versa. Da, 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 da. We did have some problems because he just does things that don't make sense to me, or he's just coming from a place that I'm not coming from, or there's just some clashing. There's some difference here. It's just like she doesn't even care. She's not even telling me. He doesn't clean up after himself, or he doesn't speak like my love language well, or it's like she's not even like being specific to me, telling me this is what he does. And I mean, honestly, I'm sure the Emperor has his own complaints or observations and differences that he's seen between him and his counterpart that might negatively affect him, bother, irritate, annoy him. But the Empress right now is speaking on just her point of view, and she's making it clear that she doesn't have a problem with it. It's just that there needs to be some sort of communication. There just needs to be transparency. She's fully accepting of her counterpart the way that they are. And I feel like the Empress understands that her counterpart is going to be different from her. That's what makes the union an attractive union. It's not just two people in love with each other because they mirror each other and they just are exactly the same. They're not pure reflections of each other. There's differences that are important. Honestly, I feel like the Empress has discovered here that the differences are important. Not only do these two need to put their differences aside so they can serve their higher purpose, they have to understand is that the differences is what makes the union attract. It's what gives the pull. It's what gives the attraction, the differences, right? So I feel like these two are aware of how attractive they are to each other, and the reason being is because they're not exactly the same. That there's something within the Empress that this masculine can't create for himself, that he can only find within her. And there's something within the masculine that the Empress can only find within him that she can't create within herself. And that's why they're attracted to each other. And that's why these two are in union. And that's why these two have been brought to each other. They both bring their own individual value to the table, and then they're able to capitalize off of what they both individually bring and just compound on that in the union. So the union compounds on their individuality. The union multiplies what they're capable of as individuals. So basically what I'm getting here is that Spirit definitely wanted this union to come in to the 3D. And Spirit wants these two to be clear on the fact that the differences are important, they matter. So if they're clashing, wanting to change the other person, I feel like they could have gone through something where one person was trying to change the other person because there were differences between the two of them and they wanted things to be perfect, or they wanted things to be like some sort of, they wanted the relationship to be like some perfect flawless goals type of thing, and it wasn't going to happen because the differences is what made the connection what it was. Without the differences there would be no union. Without, yeah, there would be no union if these two were the exact same, or agreed on everything, or had the same point of view on everything, or shared the same perspective. There would not be a union. These two have two completely individualistic perspectives is what I'm getting here. The Emperor cannot see the world through the Empress's eyes, and the Empress cannot see the world through the Emperor's eyes, period. But in union, okay, it's 2020 vision. Okay, like in union now it's like anything is possible. Like your powers are just multiplied and compounded and expanded being in union with someone with a different perspective than you don't want to be in union with someone who shares the same perspective as you. It's very limiting. There's no point of being in union. It's like, what's the point of even being in a union if you and this person agree on everything and share the same perspective on everything? So it's really healthy and it's really productive that the both of you have these unique perspectives on life and on the world, and you guys can come together and bring those unique perspectives into this union. Whether this union is, sorry you guys, I'm having some root beer over here. Whether you guys have come into union or not, it's important that you guys have these differences, and it's important that you find the common ground to stay in union, because you don't want to be too estranged from one another where there is no connection. There is like, I'm thinking about these two as like a negative and positive charge. And so it's like the more differences, the better, the more the attraction. The wider the gap here, the closer y'all want to be to each other. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, yeah, the differences are essential, important. But Spirit wants to just bring to your attention that there is a common ground here. There is a link here that keeps you guys in union because the attraction, there. Here's the thing. There's elements to this union. There's the attraction here. It's the negative and positive charge. It's your exclusive energy that you bring and their exclusive energy that they bring that creates this union. And then there's also spirit that creates this union, sustains this union. I feel like what you guys have in common is spirit. I feel like the common ground that you guys have with each other is your connection to the divine, is your faith in the divine. I feel like this is what keeps you two connected, whether you're attracting each other or not. Whether you're attracting or repelling, the both of you will always be connected through the divine. So whether you're seeing past the differences or not, the divine has you guys connected to each other. Divine says, hey, it might be a good idea to put your differences aside, being that you're connected by me. You might want to get past your differences. I think that's so cool. So anyway, the Empress is just like, everybody in this union wants to be in this union, by the way. You're dealing with two people who don't want to, like, not be in this union. They both are very aware. For them to be the Emperor and the Empress, it's like they have to be very aware of themselves and the purpose that they serve together and as individuals. They're very aware of that. So they want to obey spirit and stay in union. So getting past their differences is something that they are okay with. Nobody has an attitude like, I don't want to see past their differences. I don't want to, why am I here? I'm just here. I don't want to be here and I'm stuck here with you and I can't deal with you. Both of these people are like, yeah, this is important that we get past this, that we overcome this, that we see past our differences because of the higher purpose we serve together. Like they value God's plan for them as individuals and they value God's plan for them as a couple. So they're both willing to see past their differences. They're both willing to compromise, accept each other the way that they are. The Empress is really giving. Like she's like, the honestly, the Empress said, like, I accept him the way he is. Like, he can like be this way, or he is who he is. The Empress is like literally like, let him. I'm gonna let him do his thing. Like he has his thing. I don't get it. The Empress is me speaking as the Empress. It's like she's like, I don't. I might not always like some of their friends, or I might not always like some of their activities, but it doesn't intervene with God's plan. It's just differences. It's just petty differences between the two of them. The Empress is like, yeah, I get that. I get that. I get that it's not a big deal, or I get that this is something that I can move past. I understand that I can accept this person this way and still love this person this way and still be committed to this person this way. They're actually really grateful to be with this person. So it's like, yeah, whatever they have to accept, they're willing to accept about them. It's worth it and it's important to them, or they see the value in the union and the connection to accept this person the way that they are, even though they're not like perfect to them or something. Like I don't know. But the Empress is basically like, I'm cooling. I'm cooling. He goes and he, takes his sword and tries to get out of that rock, and that's his thing. That's his thing. This is like a real couple. They're so adorable. She's like, that's his thing, like it's stuck in that rock. It don't really like I don't know how he gonna get it out. But that's his thing. He goes up there and he tries again and again and again until it comes out, right? That's his thing. That's his thing. He still prioritizes me. He still takes care of his family. He still is a great leader, father, man, whatever this energy is meant to do. Like, go ahead and do your thing. Like, the Empress is okay and accepting of her divine counterpart the way that they are, and vice versa. Honestly, the Emperor, I'm not hearing much from him. He's kind of letting her talk. He's just like, yep, that's why I'm with her. Because she lets me do my thing and she accepts me the way that I am. This is why we are like destined to be together. This is why we are in union. This is why we've crossed paths. Because she totally gets it and it works. And then you see the Emperor is very happy, not feeling constricted, limited, controlled, possessed by their partner, feeling very free to be themselves, be an individual while in a union like this. So he doesn't have any complaints and she doesn't have any complaints. It's just acceptance and gratitude, and also just seeing the bigger picture here is what's making this union ascend and grow. And I honestly feel like this union is such a beautiful union. It just withstood the test of time here. I feel like this is a very mature union that has withstood the test, is withstanding the test of time. It's just like a powerful union. Now, with the Queen of Swords in reverse, I just feel like there's not much to say. And even with the Emperor, it's like he wasn't saying anything. And the thing is, he has a sword, which is interesting to me. It's just like he doesn't have anything to say. I just feel like he's happy with who he's with, because you have the Empress here kind of like doing all the talking and she's making his point for him, or she's just hitting the nail on the head. Like, this is why we're together. Somebody's like, you see, like he doesn't have to. It's almost like the Emperor is like showing versus explaining. He'd rather show you, like, this is why I chose the Empress. Like, you see how she deals with me, how she works with me, how she talks with me, how patient she is with me, how understanding she is, how spiritual she is, how much of a faithful woman person that she is. Like, you can see why we've lasted this long, why we've gone so far, why we still have love for each other, while there's still spark between the two of us, while there's still passion. Like, this is why you can see. I don't have to tell you. The Emperor is more of a shower than a teller. Like, I'm not about to just sit here and talk to you. I'm about to show you. The Empress is like giving you those details, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But the collective needs to know. The community needs to know. The people need to know how we make it work. Yeah, so I'm getting a vibe here that there's just not much to say. It's like you can just see there ain't much to there's not much explaining that has to be done here. Like, everyone can see why these two are a match, why these two go together, why spirit brought them to each other. And not only can the greater world around these two and the community around these two can see that, but these two are also able to see the bigger picture and see like how they're being held together in its spirit. These both of these people know that spirit is holding them together, bringing them together, keeping the spark, keeping the passion, keeping the connection, giving them guidance and advice to help sustain the relationship, because spirit definitely came in and said, hey, you guys need to put your differences aside. Just a heads up. Like, you might want to put your differences aside. It probably is going to be worth it. And these two like were like, yep, no problem. I'll do it because I'm not going nowhere. Somebody was like, I accept them the way that they are because I'd be damned if I called it quits or gave up. Somebody was like, I'd rather accept them the way that they are than give up on this. I'd rather accept these things that, irritate, or I don't know what exactly, whatever these differences are, they're overcomable. They're things that can be accepted, that can be moved on from. There are no deal breakers here. I don't see like a deal breaker. Honestly, I feel like these two cannot be split apart because it is spirit holding them together. So spirit is just giving them a heads up. Make it more enjoyable, make it less of a clash between these two. See past your differences. Look past your differences. See the greater picture here. See the common ground that you both share here. Is what spirit's advice is when it comes to you and your person. There's just not much to say. It's like not much to say. Any objections? I don't hear any objections. I don't see a deal breaker here. I don't see any deal breakers here. And I don't see any objections. Like, I don't see anybody coming up saying that these two shouldn't be together. I don't see a third party. I don't see a karmic. I don't see none of that. This is one of those unions that just are above it. These unions are above the karmic energy, above the third party energy completely. It's above it. I don't see it. So spirit, tell me more about this energy, because I be tapping into a lot of third party stuff and like that petty stuff, and I'm into unions like this. I'm really interested in learning more about these kind of unions and creating unions like this and helping to facilitate unions like this. Like more and more and more. I don't know where this heartbreak is coming from. I see all this feminine energy. Yo, okay, so let me tell y'all the truth of what I'm picking up on. So, yo, and that's probably why the Empress, and yo. The Empress was speaking out first because of all of this feminine energy that's coming up into the reading. I feel like the Empress was like getting challenged. Like there was feminine energies here like trying to challenge her, but it was like the Empress is so focused on her union that it doesn't really phase her. The Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands popping up in the reading don't really phase the Empress. Because number one, it's the Empress. It's not a queen. She's the Empress. She's not a queen. She's an Empress. Number two, she's already very self-aware. So she knows the union she's in, the power of it, the purpose that it serves. She sees the bigger picture. It's like there's nothing distracting her or getting in her way. And these queens, the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands, are in reverse position. They came into the reading in reverse position. So I just feel like they're present, but they aren't doing anything, or they have no effect on this union. Um, this union is solid. Like these queens here, or this feminine energy external to this union, cannot get in between these two. This feminine energy over here does not impact or create any cracks, shifts, just doesn't have an influence or an impact on the Empress and the Emperor's bond here. But they are present in the reading, and there's this heartbreak that is very present in the reading. So there's somebody's heart is broken. It's very loud. Like I can clearly read that there's heartbreak here. Not between the Emperor and the Empress, not between this ordained union here. There is no heartbreak within this union. There's just a lot of understanding. There's a lot of unconditional love, acceptance, unity here, harmony, communication, compromise, all of that. Healthy compromise, right? And then over here is just this heartbreak, and I don't know if there's regret, but there's definitely heartbreak of that these queens are feeling. There's two queens here. So I don't know if I'm talking to Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine, if you feel, I don't know, I just don't know. Divine Feminine, I feel like I'm talking to Divine Feminine, especially with the Empress speaking up. I feel like you're a Divine Feminine watching this, or you most likely are a Divine Feminine, but you know, take it how it resonates and everything. But I just feel intuitively like Divine Feminine is addressing this heartbreak and these other feminine energies present here. I don't know if these are like exes, karmics from the Emperor's past here, still kind of lingering around, observing, watching this couple. I mean, I feel like there could be two feminine energies here. There could be two karmics here who have been observing this union, waiting for this union to like break, waiting to find weakness between these two, looking for opportunities to interfere with this union. And I feel like these feminine energies are coming into awareness of just how tight these two are, how bonded and connected and attracted these two are. I feel like these people here just keeping tabs on you two, on this union, watching this union, these people over here did not understand the calling on this union. They weren't aware of the higher purpose of this union. These people could not have known, or just did not have the awareness of spirit leading and guiding this union and ordaining this union. And that is why the heartbreak is so loud. That is why the heartbreak is so profound here. It's because there is no splitting these two up. There is no breaking these two up. There is no weakness here. There are no cracks here. This is a divinely led and ordained union. So they're like sitting around waiting for little tiny cracks. I mean, they're looking for just the smallest sign of weakness, insecurity between the two of these people in union here, and they never find enough weakness or evidence to support their idea that they could replace the Empress or take the Empress's place. It's the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. They cannot be the Empress. They cannot take the Empress's place. But they might have been under the impression that it was possible somehow. They are now coming into awareness that there is no such thing as replacing the Empress or taking the place of this feminine energy in this union here. This union is solid. It's held together by spirit. It's held together by the divine. The divine is over here. Like, these people are like not even paying attention to these people over here. These people are hurt in their feelings. Let's keep it here. Let's keep it a buck. We got two feminine energies over here, and I could really be so vulgar, but I just want to like not go that route. We got these two women over here, these two feminine energies in their feelings. Both of them wasted time sitting around waiting for this couple to break up, watching this couple, looking for weaknesses, looking for opportunities to interfere, and under the impression that it was even possible. They spent time and energy watching this couple, plotting on this couple, right? And they're like in their feelings, heartbroken, coming into awareness that these two don't even pay them any attention. They're over here in their feelings. These two could, it's not that they could care less, it's more so they are unaware of this. This is irrelevant because of their mission and their higher purpose. They're so focused on the bigger picture and the mission and the purpose that they are serving. It's like this has nothing to do with what they are doing, with what they have going on. They're not paying this any attention. These two feminine energies are watching for them. They are not watching for the two feminine energies. The couple is not watching for them. Neither one, the emperor nor the empress, are watching for these two ladies or these two queens over here. Nobody is watching for them. Nobody's looking out for them. It's not, we don't even have the empress over here like keeping tabs on these other people. Is she still trying to hit is she still DMing my man? Like, we don't even have the empress like, are you still talking to him? Like, it's none of that. It's just none of that. It's not even something that I want to even like entertain. It's none of that. They're just over here in their feelings because they've come to realize that they don't even check for us. I don't know if these two feminines are like, I don't know what this is about, but there's two feminines here and they're realizing like they're not even checked for it. They're not even seen. Like, they're realizing that they don't get tabs checked. Like, they're not getting checked. They're not getting looked for. They don't have tabs open for them. You know, they're busy. This couple is busy. This couple has been working. This couple is completely booked and busy with the divine. They're not checking for these ladies over here. But these ladies over here, these feminine energies over here are literally obsessed with this couple. I feel like these feminine energies have dedicated so much time to watching this couple, looking for weaknesses, just waiting for opportunity, realizing that that is just not even possible because of the kind of union that this is. It's putting two feminine energies in a very heartbroken place. And still, this couple does not pay them any attention. They're in the reading. Spirit wants to address the energy. I feel like we're aware of their presence here. They're being addressed. We're looking at the bigger picture of what this is. But we understand that this union is serving a higher purpose and that these two, however collective, whether you're the masculine or the feminine or however you fit into this, you're not paying these feminine energies over here any attention. It's like they're checking for you, but you're not checking for them. What I'm getting here is like you got somebody over here checking for you and you're not checking for them. And then they realize like they're not even checking for us. Like we're not getting noticed, we're not getting any attention. And it puts them in this heartbroken space that they couldn't get the emperor's attention, or they couldn't get in between these two. It's almost like I feel like these could be feminine energies trying to seduce or tempt somebody in this connection, the masculine and or the feminine. They're trying to seduce, tempt, break up this union, or take someone's place in this union, and they didn't even get any attention. They didn't even get noticed, you know? Um, and once they realize that they were never even noticed, they never got the attention, there's a heartbreak that comes with it, because I feel like it wasn't even out of ego. It could have been out of, I feel like it wasn't out of ego. It wasn't like these two feminine energies were like, oh, we could take the Empress's spot. We got this. Or I could take the Empress's spot. Or this feminine energy is also thinking, I could take the Empress's spot. I want the Empress's spot. The Empress doesn't deserve it. Or whoever. And I don't feel like it was out of ego. I feel like it was out of ignorance that they even tried, because they weren't aware of spirit. These two are over here praying. I mean, these two are over here talking to God, talking to each other, um, taking their responsibility very seriously, taking their mission very seriously, taking the union very seriously. I mean, doing the work. Okay, accepting each other for who they are. I mean, these two are busy. These two have responsibilities. There's people looking up to them. There's people following their lead, following their example. Okay, these are community leaders. These people are not playing about this union, not playing about their mission, taking it very seriously. There's no way that these two feminine energies could have got their attention. Whether it was to seduce, tempt, it was like the most irrelevant thing compared to the mission and the purpose that this union is serving, and that these individuals within this union are serving. So it was just kind of like, whoa. When they realized that, it was like, whoa, we don't even get any attention. We don't even get noticed. They could not necessarily, these people, it's not like they're careless people, evil people who don't like see other people. It's just that they are focused. They're just focused. And they know what they're supposed to do. They have instructions from the divine. They're focused on that. I don't know why these feminine energies came into the reading, but they are present. But they're seeing for themselves just how irrelevant they are when it comes to this union. And they're heartbroken about it. And like I said, it's not out of ego. It's not out of ego. It's out of ignorance. It's out of ignorance. And that's why this is the Empress and the Emperor. Direct and personal, like dealing with spirit, like directly. It's like the Empress and the Emperor deal with spirit directly. It's like their union requires and calls for them to deal with spirit like directly. I don't know. And these people are like witnessing this and coming into awareness of spirit's presence and having to accept that spirit brought these two together. They cannot break them apart because they know who spirit is, but they are learning more about what spirit does, what spirit can do, what spirit has ordained. I feel like they're finding out that spirit ordained this union, that there's a calling on this union, that this isn't just like You can't just play around with this energy. But also, they're not playing. It's not, they're like seriously heartbroken. They weren't playing at all. Somebody is seriously heartbroken over this union being so tight and not being able to like take someone's place. Um, and it's just out of ignorance. Like someone had to learn the hard way. Someone had to like see things for what they are. And it's like putting them in a heartbroken energy. But yeah. But like I said, they're not being. It's like they're not. They don't have anything to say, and they don't cross paths with this union. So this union continues to move forward and see past their differences and follow the instructions that they were given. And I don't see this union addressing these feminine energies over here or paying them any attention at all. And I think that that's where the heartbreak is coming from over here, is the fact that they don't get noticed and they don't get the attention that they're looking for. And they understand why, too. They know why they don't get noticed. And that's what breaks their heart, is the fact that Spirit doesn't want them to be noticed by these two. Spirit is not allowing them to get noticed because Spirit is not going to allow them to distract the two in this union. And I feel like that's why they're here, is to see what Spirit does and what Spirit is doing. That can't be undone, that can't be broken. Ooh, so I'm picking up on a channeled message. There's two feminine energies. I feel like they try to tempt, seduce, break apart some ordained union here. And they're mad at themselves as well. Because they feel like they disrespected Spirit. They could have tried to disrespect your relationship or disrespect a union. And once they found out that Spirit ordained the union, they were like mad at themselves, because this is genuinely, they genuinely want a union like this. And that's why they're here, is because they're attracted to the light. They're attracted to the example that these two show. They look up to these two. They aspire to have something like what they have here. And because they disrespected it or they tried to tamper with it, they're mad at themselves, because they imagine like if they were to ever like be in a union like this, they would never like want that to happen to them. So it's the fact that they did this to someone else. They're mad at themselves, like, why would I do this to someone else? I would never want this to happen to me. If I had the opportunity to be in an ordained union like this, I would never ever like want this to happen to me. So why would I do this to them? And they're like reflecting on that energy. It's almost like they're in timeout, thinking about what they did or thinking about what they were trying to do and how they, are just wrong for it. They're very aware that they're wrong. It's not like, yeah, it's they're condemned. They're condemned. They're guilty. They feel bad. It's not like there's any beef here. It's like they know that they're wrong for even trying to seduce or tempt the emperor, or replace the empress, or get in between these two, or interrupt this union that is like headed for something like so high and great. Like, it's like they don't look at themselves in a good light because of what they tried to do. So they're struggling with themselves right now for being the way that they are. they're still not getting noticed. Whether they're like feeling sorry for themselves or whether they're still trying to like replace people or take people's places. It's just, they're just over here with it. It's just over here. And then we have the ordained union to the right, still focused on the mission. But Spirit definitely wants you to know, collective, that they know that Spirit ordained the union and they regret challenging the commitment. They regret the time that they spent watching this relationship. Yeah, like you two are seriously not checking for these feminine energies over here. What I'm really, really like picking up on is that you two never checked for them. These two were checking for you guys this whole time. Like y'all are hot on their radar. Like this union was like hot on their radar. Like targeted. Y'all were targeted is what I'm getting here. There's multiple feminine energies. I don't see these two teaming up and being like, okay, we're both going to try and break them apart. Let's work together and like get in between them. I don't even see that. I just feel like y'all were a target for multiple people to challenge. Y'all were like put on a pedestal, or this union was like highly respected, ordained, something to where y'all were getting a lot of attention. You and your divine counterpart might get a lot of attention, or are getting a lot of attention, or you guys just um, shine. Like when you guys step out together, when you guys go out in public, you just draw a lot of attention. It's just one of those kind of unions that get looked at, observed. Um, and I feel like you might have been targeted by these feminine energies over here. But the thing is, they were never ever checked for by the two of you. You guys never ever checked for them, never noticed. The whole time they were targeting you, you were on their radar, they were watching you, doing all types of stuff. Because you know what, honestly, and I respect the queens in the deck, but like in this reading, I don't really respect these queens. I just feel like in general I respect like the card, not the cards, but the figure, the symbolism, right? But in this particular reading, I feel like these two queens here are just not in their power. They're very weak. And they're doing things to play on. They use weaknesses because they're weak. They're weak, so they're looking for weaknesses within something so strong and so powerful. It's like they're not seeing spirit here. It's like they don't see how spirit has brought these two together, and how spirit holds them together, and how spirit has sustained them, and how spirit has led them, and how spirit is um, supporting them. It's like they don't see the bigger picture. They just see weakness because they are weak. It's like they can only see at ground level. They can only see everybody's feet, or they can only see everybody's knees, or it's like they're just standing at a point of view that's limited. They can't see the bigger picture. These two see the bigger picture, and they're committed to the bigger picture. They see the bigger picture. They can't see the bigger picture. That's why they don't notice them. That's why they don't get noticed. That's why they don't get any attention. Because the Empress and the Emperor are looking at the bigger picture, and they're looking at their feet, they're looking at their clothes, they're looking at, I don't know, small, minuscule things that don't matter. And they're trying to compete using those things, or they're trying to like interfere using like small things that don't matter. So they never get noticed because it's weak. Whatever moves that they make are really weak. They don't get noticed. They're realizing that they've come into that awareness, and they're mad at themselves for even like trying. And with the Three of Swords covering them up, I feel like they're embarrassed too. I feel like they could have been, I feel like these feminine energies might have been more promiscuous, or I want to use the right word. I feel like they could have used sexuality as a way to get the attention of your masculine or to break this union apart. But that didn't even phase this union. They could, because let's the way that they present themselves, I just feel like the Empress does not carry herself the same way at all. I'll put it that way. The Empress, you see what the Empress is doing here? She's talking to me, like she's telling me about the union. Y'all saw her. She was talking to us about how she really wants to stay in this union, how she's committed. She's accepting him the way he is. This is how she deals with him. She's telling us like how she deals with him, how she talks to him, so that the union is enjoyable and peaceful. Like, and these two are over here like doing the most. It's like you got this feminine energy here doing the most to get attention, and you got this feminine energy over here doing the most to get attention. And you see the Empress, and you see how she carries herself. That's not how it works. It's like they're doing stuff and it just don't work. Whatever they're doing does not work, and it's like I feel dumb. It's like what I'm hearing from these two feminine energies. It's like, don't even look at me. Like, I got this costume on and I've been doing the most, and I thought that I could do this and it would work, and it was absolutely pointless, and now I just feel ridiculous. Don't even look at me. We over here like just don't even pay us any attention. Like, continue, go back to what you were doing. Like, don't even pay us any attention. It's what I'm picking up on. And then you got the masculine and feminine, divine masculine and feminine, this ordained union here, and their focus. But I just wanted, collective, I wanted you to see like how the Empress carries herself compared to how these feminine energies carry themselves. And there's a lot of shame and guilt over here. So, Spirit, any last messages? There's a lot of shame and guilt. So it's not like they're not mad at y'all for like not checking for them. They're actually happy that they're not being checked for because they're embarrassed. And obviously, they're not going to continue trying to get attention or trying to get validation or trying to get between the two of you, because they know there's no point in trying. They know that it's a waste of time. So Spirit just wants you to be aware of that. Any last messages, Spirit? Ooh, this is different. This is so crazy. Like, this energy right here is like somebody is desperate to get to you, collective. I feel like there's someone who's desperate to break this union apart. Somebody's desperate to like be destructive. Somebody's feeling destructive for sure, but they can't destroy. Somebody wants to just destroy things, and they're like being held down. It's like they want to destroy something and they can't. They want to be destructive and they can't. They want to be hateful and they can't. They want to troll and they can't. Is what I'm getting here. Like somebody's like really, really destructive here. There's a really destructive energy that I'm picking up on, you guys. It's like volatile. Somebody's hostile, volatile. It's not these feminine energies over here. These feminine energies are like hiding, ashamed of themselves, feeling dumb now. But there's somebody, or there's an energy here that's volatile, not done for sure. So there's somebody who's just not done being destructive, being hateful, being hostile, being benevolent, belligerent. I'm sorry, I said benevolent. it because it's in the reading, I feel like it has something to do with this union. But with this union, like standing like over here, it's like it doesn't touch this union. Like this masculine and feminine, this ordained union here does not is not touched by this destructive hatred, hateful energy. There's this hostile, belligerent energy, and it does not touch them. It doesn't get close to them, but it is present. There's these feminine energies over here that don't get noticed, that want so much attention, they just don't get any attention. I'm trying to understand, like, what is this belligerent energy? What is this hostile energy? Where is this coming from? What is this about? Spirit, infinite gratitude to the Most High for all the messages. Please elaborate on the hostile energy, the Four of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Like somebody just wants to be really hateful and like hostile. What is this about? What advice do you have, Spirit? Infinite gratitude. They can't, is what I'm getting here. They can't. There's somebody who wants to be hostile, volatile, hateful. Somebody wants to troll, bully, do something destructive. They can't get close to you. That's where this is, and that's what it's like inciting them. It's like the fact that they can't is what makes them even more angry. They can't get to you. It's what makes them even more angry. That they have no access to you makes them even more angry. They can't say what they want to say, or they can't do what they want to do. It's like making them so angry to the point where like they're self-sabotaging. They can't be destructive, so they're like hurting themselves. It's not going to affect this union collective. It's not touching this union. It's not touching you and or this person. It's just present. It's just, we're just aware of it. And what you really, really need to be aware of is they are being restrained. And I feel like it's because you're divinely protected. These people are restrained, unable to have access to you, can't get to you, can't contact you. This destructive, hateful energy has to like stay away from you. Spirit wants you to know that. Spirit wants you to know that about these feminine energies, that they're ashamed and embarrassed and hiding. So it's just, Spirit is just, you know, letting us see, being aware. We're aware. Yeah. This hostility cannot get to you. This hatred cannot touch you, cannot affect you, cannot harm you. And that's what is really getting under this person's skin, is the fact that they cannot have access to you to be hateful or to be destructive. And that's all there's somebody here who only wants like destruction, like in war, like, and it's like, it's not their place to be hateful towards either of you because of the purpose that you're serving. So they're out of bounds for like directing this hostility towards you. I feel like this hostility and this rage and this hateful energy, it doesn't belong to you, collective. I feel like whoever this is, they're wrong for targeting you or for directing all of their anger at you or all of their rage at you. This person like doesn't have the right to be mad at you or to take their anger out on you, so they don't have access to you. It's like they can't touch you. I don't know if Spirit binded them or how this happened. It's just that they cannot have access to you. They cannot get to you. There's nothing to worry about when it comes to this hostile energy. You have nothing to worry about. They don't have access to you for a reason. They can't have access to you. I want to understand, like, it's because they can't say something. I feel like there's definitely something that they wish they had said or wish they could have said that they can't say anymore. They had their opportunity to say something and it's gone. They can't have a second chance. They don't have another chance to say this. And whatever it is that they were trying to say, it was hurtful, hateful, destructive. They will never like be able to say this thing, or they will never be able to be this destructive towards you. They don't have access to you. It's like literally, like they feel like they're drunk. Like they literally cannot deal with the fact that they can't be hostile towards you. And I feel like karmically, that's probably appropriate for directing this negative energy towards you. I feel like karmically, they are meant to deal with it by themselves, or they're self-sabotaging karmically for even like trying to take their anger and their rage out on you or your relationship. This could be like, they could be like trying to like talk about this union. Someone might have like something to say, they can't say it. Somebody want to object, they can't object. And then there's this energy of feminine energies over here, backing away, feeling dumb, wanting nothing to do with the situation anymore, wanting to kind of run and hide, embarrassed. Um, there's these energies over here that were just ignorant, but they've learned, they've discovered like how important this union is or what this union is about. They no longer want to interfere. So we have this like healthy, positive shift and change here. And then we have this really unhealthy energy of someone who might have like tried to challenge this union. We're talking badly about this union, judging, criticizing, being destructive, being hateful, lying on either partner here. Someone could have been like spreading lies, trying to break this union apart. They're like being binded down, like this union is protected from them and they have no access to this union. So someone is mad because they can't be destructive and hateful, and they're not getting attention clearly because this union is focused on their higher purpose. So we've got these feminine energies here who understand that what they did was wrong and want to change because they want better for themselves. If they ever were to have a chance at having something like this, they would have to repent. You know, their behavior is just inappropriate and they would just have to repent if they want to have something like this in the future. And they do. It's like they look up to this couple deep down. They want to be in a union like this, so they're learning from their mistakes here because they know what they want. Okay? They're really heartbroken and they want better for themselves. So good for them. Then we have this energy over here that's like refusing to change, refusing to repent, refusing to accept things, wanting to be destructive and hateful, and literally just kind of being bound with to themselves. And now they're like self-sabotaging. Like they can't sabotage this, so they just have to sabotage something. So if they can't sabotage this, they're sabotaging themselves. And there's nothing you can do to like help this person. This is really hostile. This is really unhealthy, and it just doesn't have access to collective. I wouldn't focus on it either. Obviously, there's too much to do. You guys have so much work to do, and there's just so much responsibility here. Not to like overwhelm and burden you guys. It's an honorable position to be in. And I just see you being focused and taking it seriously. It's worth it. You want this. You're not going to let anything distract you. So with that being said, that is the end of your reading. That's what you guys are like up against. I just want to like make sure that you guys are aware of what you're up against and how it doesn't touch you. Stay focused because it's worth it. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.